Hello, welcome to Game Rating Review. My name is Jean-Marc Lejean. I got a message from Brian Albus on a video I did a week ago. The message goes, I know you did some videos on this topic last year, but I wanted to see what you currently thought when you were first starting your channel. What were one or two of the biggest obstacles you faced? If you have any suggestions for tackling those obstacles, please share. I think this year he will begin making content. I hope Brian Albus does start soon. He's really funny, creative, and awesome. Very good drummer, and I hope he's able to make very great content. The first year was great. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I had to start being realistic about what I could do and what I could achieve. For instance, I wanted a camera. I wanted like a Canon $2,000, $4,000 camera so it could be sharp, so that I could do whatever I needed to do. But my phone ended up working nicely, and phones are only getting better. So definitely use your phone as your camera. That seems easy, but I had to get over that having good audio is important. And if you have a fancy camera, sometimes they have attachments to those cameras that you can get better audio out of. If you're worried about that, you could do, video and do voiceover later. Then that way you don't really have to worry about audio. The closer the camera is, or the phone, whenever you're using your phone, is to you, the better the audio, the further away it is, the worse it is. It took me a while to be able to afford and figure out my audio. I got a really good mic now. I have my converter thing. Editing, there's a lot of free editing software out there. And I got the Mac because it's compatible with my phone, so I'm able to record on my phone. And I'm able to get everything through Final Cut Pro. So everything I'm bringing up, it kind of has this theme of money. And you will have to spend money to start a YouTube channel or to make it look and sound good. And that's what I wanted when I started. But the best thing that ever happened to me was actually for my wife. She just wanted me to start. She said, just start doing Let's Plays and then go from there. Just start a Let's Play. And that was perfect because it gave me practice. My first Let's Play has never been seen by a human being because it got corrupted, and thank God, because I was afraid of the camera. I was afraid to look at the camera, and it really took a lot of practice for me to get good at that. So if I were you and I was starting, definitely practice, or definitely do your first video. See how it is. You don't have to discard it, but definitely just do your first video. Write a script, write it out, go through everything you want to do. And yeah, so just start your first thing. Definitely have a schedule. That is important. And I think a hurdle I had to get past is just learning a lot of stuff. And you're going to learn stuff from YouTube. And a lot of it is just going at it. Everyone does YouTube differently. Everyone does different things. You just have to know what'll work for you and what'll be good for you. Like what day are you going to film? How often you're going to release? How much time are you going to spend on a script? You're going to spend a lot of time editing. If you are the only person doing your YouTube channel, editing is a big thing. And learning Final Cut Pro took me a little bit of time, but the more I started using it, it was exactly what I always wanted. Clipping things out, connecting things together. It was how I've always wanted an editor to be. Like whenever we would do old videos, me and my brothers and stuff, and we would edit old videos and have this free editing software. I actually found it very confusing, and the more I would use Final Cut Pro, I just found it intuitive. Just cut this out, put this in. I understood how to layer things together on Final Cut Pro. There's still more things I could probably learn from Final Cut Pro, but I'm at a good space with it where I know a lot and I'm able to do a lot with it. So editing is something you need to think about. How much you're going to edit, if it's just going to be one solid thing. I think irregardless of what you make on YouTube, it's a very good idea to learn how to edit. Because that way, if you make any mistakes or there's things you need to reshoot, then you can do that. I normally don't reshoot. I don't know if you knew that about me. I just do everything and just hope for the best. I do cut out mistakes or things I'm like, I sound dumb. Learn how to edit. That's a big deal. If you don't love editing, it's going to be hard to continue on YouTube because I didn't know I loved editing, but I do a lot. And I sometimes wish I didn't have a job or was living off of YouTube just because I would be able to make so much more content and make the content that I have that much better. A lot of decisions I make editing are just out of the time that I have to do them. I'm like, man, I could do A, B, C, D, all these ideas that I have in my head, but I'm like, I literally don't have the time to do it. And I have my weekly news show I do every week. I have it like segmented. I have every part ready to go. I can copy and paste from previous edits that I have and have things saved for the weekly news show. So that is just plugging them in there. So the weekly news show, it still does take me the longest time to edit. It's the biggest thing I do for my channel. And it's easier because I have everything set up. It's not different every episode. Some episodes are different than others, obviously. But I'm able to plug things in. And I'm still learning about it. You'll always be learning about what you can do for your YouTube channel. You can watch other people for experience, and I heard you should do that, but I don't think you should. I think if you have an idea, you should just run with it. I watched a lot of people and gained a lot of inspiration from people, but part of me wishes I just would have just done my own thing in the beginning and kind of see where that would have taken me. And I still get my own original ideas. I still have a lot of ideas in my head. It's just the time commitment to a lot of this stuff is just crazy. And I want to start some other things and work on other things. I used to do 5 days a week while on call, and my wife never saw me. And it's like we were spending more and more time together. Now that I only do like 3 videos a week, we're able to spend more time together, which is awesome. And I will never give up the weekly news show or YouTube because I actually love it so much. It's trying to find balance, because if I would have kept doing what I was doing, I would have been burnt out. That's the other thing of why picking a schedule is good and not putting up too much content. I wanted to put out content every day, but having to edit that content, stay on top of things. I got to see some family members this weekend, and my nephew asked me, why don't you play games that are relevant, that people like? And I was like, well, I mean, there's just so much that goes into copyright, goes into editing, and I used to do Let's Plays, but editing them took forever. That's why I moved to Twitch and then, had Nick and David join me just so we could have some conversations. And now we have the podcast, which we're probably going to miss this week's podcast and hopefully be able to record one soon. It's been crazy. It's been fun. My biggest advice for if you're just starting is to start. You always will have these ideas in your head on what you want to do. And what I like about younger creators, and even when I was younger, is they just do a thing, Like, let's just do it right now. And my wife really pushed me, just do a Let's Play, just do a Let's Play. And I was like, okay. And I thought, well, if I'm doing a Let's Play, it's not what I wanted to do for my channel. So I just did it. So I was like, well, I don't really care about Let's Plays. I don't really watch them myself. So why don't I just do them and see how that goes? And it went really well. And I really loved doing my Let's Plays. It just took so much editing on top of everything else I wanted to do. And I really enjoyed it in the beginning, doing Let's Plays. And I wish I'd have had more time to edit these things. Do 2 Let's Plays a day, pick a game that everyone's interested in, and do all of that. But what I wanted to do was reviewing. Then I did reviewing and realized it's something I didn't love doing with video games. I like talking about video games, and I like talking about the reviews that I saw. But giving my opinion was interesting. I was like, I feel like everyone else is doing that. And so doing the weekly news show I really like. So I'm able to observe the news, tell you how I feel about the news, show you some absurdities in the news and in some games that are coming out. And that, to me, that's been the most fun part. Being more entertaining when it comes to like news and the video game world, because that's what interests me the most. So what I liked about my channel is that I started thinking one way. I'm at a completely different point now, and I just wish I had more time in the day. And I wish I could do more for my channel currently. But when I was starting, I was scared of a lot of things. Ask for advice, talk to other creators as well. If you're planning on doing something, that's another reason to kind of watch for other creators, is so you can reach out to them and learn other things. I wish I was better at that. I'm afraid to talk to other creators because I have reached out a few times to some people that ignored me and some people that listen, and you kind of just have to be persistent when it comes to talking to other creators who are doing things similar to you. And I hope that if you like editing or like doing movies or have this creative side to you, that you do YouTube to help you fulfill those things inside of you. I needed a creative outlet, and YouTube's doing that for me. I needed it. Like, once I started doing stand-up, I did it for a while, and then when that was gone, I felt empty. And people are like, why don't you do stand-up again? Because what it did to me wasn't great. The way it made me feel to do bad at a show. But even when I was doing good at a show, I felt like this Jekyll and Hyde in me. Like, I could have done better, and I was really hard on myself. And then watching people on YouTube, I'm like, I can do that. I can take my time with doing YouTube. Little did I know I'd get very obsessed in the beginning. You know, I'm like, look, just have fun with YouTube. If you're not having fun, you're working all the time, and you're not spending as much time with your wife as you want to. So I had to concede and do a lot of things and just make it fun for me. So now YouTube is like really fun, and I really enjoy it. So just try it out. And if YouTube isn't it, find another creative outlet. Because if you wanted, a lot of people join YouTube just for the money, to start a career, blah, blah, blah. I literally needed that creative outlet, and it gave that to me. So if I were you, you thinking about doing it, just do it. And if you don't like it, that's fine. There's other things you can do. I know people dream of making money on YouTube. I want to make money and do all these things, but the amount of kids that I've seen that start a channel, don't finish it, or even older people who start a channel, don't finish it, it's because they have lofty ideas that are like way up here. And my biggest advice is just start low. Think, if I get 10 views, that's good. And I started that. I had a cap. If I can make more than 10 views per episode, I'll be happy, and I've hit that. I hit that within the first couple of months, and I was like, I can do this forever. It doesn't matter. Yes, my Twitch streams with David and Nick don't do great, but that's fine because my other content does. I love doing the podcast. Geek Rating Review with them is so much fun. Doing this channel has been so amazing, and just start doing it. I mean, just plan it out, do it this week or do it next week if you want to do your channel. I'm being dead serious. And don't think about the limitations that you have, or don't think about, oh, I can't do it because of A, B, and C. Think about what you do have and how you can pull it off with what you have currently, and then do it. I spent a lot of money on my computer. I spent a lot of money LLCing a company where I wasn't making any money at all. Don't do anything crazy with financials or anything until you're making money on your channel, and that could take years to do. And yeah, so just go at it to have fun. Go at it to make a video and be creative. And yes, you can organize everything, but my advice to you is start as soon as possible. Start tomorrow, start this week, start next week. Don't go past next week. Start as soon as you can. Start at the end of next week if you have to, but just start. That was the hardest part, was getting started. Once I did start, it just kind of rolled into what it was. So my biggest advice to anyone is just to start. And my other advice is, once you get started and you're not liking it, then let it go. Or if you're doing something like I was doing reviews, and I just was like, I'm not enjoying this anymore. It was fun for a while, but you know, I don't have time to edit it like I would, and I'm not really enjoying, you know, this review thing. I'd prefer doing the news, so I just dropped doing that. I did vlogs instead. Vlogs are also my favorite thing to do on the channel, giving my opinion about things, and that's where the news came out of too, because during my vlogs I would look online and look for news stories to talk about, and I said, why don't I just put this into its own show? I wanted to talk about games that were coming out. So if you ever watched the end of my weekly news show, I was talking about games that come out this week, and that was also fun. So tell me if any of that was helpful. And that was just my story, what I went through, and what I think is very, very important. If you have questions, please let me know. Thank you for watching Game Rating Review. My name is Jamor. Please click like, subscribe, and what you see. And that was my advice to Brian Jocks, or anybody who's starting on YouTube. It's fun. It actually is. And even when I'm tired and I don't want to film. Once I start filming, I'm in it, and then once I film, I edit, and I'm in it. So yes, I think editing a little challenging, but just get started. Just get started. Find something. Start your own YouTube account. Get everything ready, and it'll be fun. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later. I don't know.